This is ICAST News, live and direct from United Nations headquarters. And this is the Better Half UN Women. And our guest with us from India, whose name is Meena Saha. We'll be talking about the role of education in peace building and sustainable peace. Hello, Meena. How are you doing?
Hello, Rabia. I'm feeling very nice and excited to be here with you for talking about the peace building and sustainable peace.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. So, is it your first time in United Nations this time?
This time we came for the conference here for the peace building and sustainable peace, which is organized by the President General Assembly and by the University of Peace. So we attended this conference.
So, how are you liking New York so far? And is it very different from where you come from?
Yeah, it's very different because that is Asian country.
Of course.
And this is the like heaven in the world these times. Earlier also everyone wants to come New York.
Well, I'm glad that you're having a delightful time here. So, would you like to enlighten all of us about the event which you attended yesterday, which was particularly about the role of education in peace building and sustainable peace?
Yes, that is organized by the Costa Rica ambassador and the University of Peace, and we listen about with the ambassador of Bangladesh, ambassador of Sri Lanka, and the Philippines ambassador is also there. The director of SDGs fund, she was also there, and that was the great meeting. This is the kind of great initiating for the sustaining peace and development in the world.
So, what was the basic objective for convening this meeting? What was the focal point? How did they start off?
The focal point is to how to make always the word become peace with from the grassroots rebel. We can introduce the peace or activities from the grassroots level, from the schools and university, in the by the civil societies, with the small activities. So how can we make volunteer for the peace from the University of Peace? And they introduce a great program for the volunteering for the peace. They are producing, and they can produce more by introduce more subjects and the side diploma in the peace they can introduce, and they are introducing and they are giving scholarship also. That is a great thing there. And I heard the SDG director, SDG fund, or director of the SDG fund, and she is doing very well. She is very excited. She want to present. There must be present from all the countries ambassador, but unfortunately, all ambassadors are not present there. But this is a kind of great initiative. Sustainable development goals are the reduce inequality, no poverty, inclusion, and the main thing is peace building, and we are all the partners. So every country should interested in this, and every country should initiate in their country the branch of University of Peace. I think so.
Oh, well, that's very insightful, I must say. So, I got to know that it was organized by a couple of missions, if I'm not wrong. One was the mission of Philippines, and then the mission of Costa Rica. And where is the University of Peace located?
Yeah, that is located in the Costa Rica, and the ambassador was there, and the director of University of Peace honored him by the certificate, appreciated him that he gave the place for such a kind of peace building thing. So it is very honor, and every country should do this.
So how are these universities engaged in promoting peace building? What kind of actions have they taken so far?
They are eager to make small activities by their alumni, with their alumni, and who they are interested to do. They are trained the people how to make peaceful work with the small activities and with the volunteering, and they can do the programs in their country. They can come and they can train in this program, and they can make in their country parallel the peace sustainable programs. And I like the Sri Lankan ambassador's speech because they introduce a lot of things in their basic education, school education related to the peace building courses. So, and also they are doing a peace council, peace council like conferences there, or maybe club. Yeah, there is a peace clubs introduced in the schools in Sri Lanka. The ambassador, as the ambassador of Sri Lanka told, and the same thing from the Bangladesh I heard, and Philippines ambassador is also interested to do the work with the peace. So
That's great.
in India, I think there should be more things introduced by the University of Peace. I want to collaborate with them. I also talked with the Naren Kakkarji, who is organizing the part of the University of Peace, and his ancients are also from the India.
Oh, wow.
So it's very nice to meet with him.
Well, I was coming to that question that is their work being prevalent, or are they approaching or targeting other countries? Like, since the headquarters are in Costa Rica, are they working in Asia and the other developing countries where there is more need for education?
Yes, of course. They are approaching, and they are doing in the Asian region with the. I think there is a lot of reasons in Asia. They prescribed in their out leaflets, and I think there is a Philippines also, and Nepal, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India. There's a lot of countries.
So, like you mentioned before, that you are planning to collaborate with the University of
Yes.
Peace to take this initiative back to India. So, would you like to give us a little background of what you've been doing in the field of sustainable peace and how you've been utilizing the tool of education to work for this cause?
Yeah, sure. I'm very happy to share with you this because in India there is underprivileged society, and the schooling system is good now. It's developing, but there is a very big field for doing work for the peace, and we can spread it with the University of Peace collaboration. We can make small events, or like Sri Lankan ambassador told, his idea is great. We can make peace club there in the universities and in the schools, colleges, and we can do program with the collaboration of the University of Peace with the inclusion. I am also doing work with the inclusion. With the disabilities societies, underprivileged society, so it will make more good. It will save our country from the violence. It will great help. From grassroots level, we have to introduce the peace programs.
Well, I must highlight that education is one of the basic rights, and all of us should have access to it, including the people with disabilities. And that's a very good point that you highlighted, that most of the institutions, they only focus on regular education, but not over the, about the children or students with special needs. So they do need to take care of that too. So would you like to share any experience or the group of people you've worked with who were with special needs or disabilities?
Yeah, I want to introduce my son. He is a deaf activist in India, and he got the President Award last year as a role model. He is doing work for the inclusion for the person with disabilities, and there is a lot of organization who are working with the person with disability in the in education. There is a big lackness in the education field for the communication. The deaf person cannot sit properly in the mainstream in the education. So we can introduce the digital media. Today is the time of the digitalization, and our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is also introducing Digital India. So we support that thing. So we want to digitalize all the education apparatus in the use in the classrooms and conferences everywhere, so that the deaf and person with disabilities can access education with each other, sit together. That will be great in the future, so that they cannot feel exclusive. So we are working to in this field, and my son is doing with the yoga and meditation.
Wow.
He teaches underprivileged society for the peace, sustaining peace. He thought that the yoga and meditation will increase the peace and avoid the violence if we will teach to the underprivileged society also the root cause of the violence.
Well, I'd really like to appreciate that action, because we all believe that peace starts from within. So once you have internal peace, once you're at peace with yourself, then you can give out the positive vibes. So that's a very good initiative taken by your son, and all that he's done is really commendable. So what did you learn from this conference yesterday? What were you able to grasp out of it? What was it which you found interesting or which was new that you would like to share with all of us?
I found the SDGs fund was introducing to the sustainable peace for the civil societies. They are eager to spread the fund for the sustaining peace, and that is encouraging. Because the main thing is the raising fund. If somebody got talent and somebody has field to sustain peace and develop peace program, so they can take fund from there and training from the University of Peace. So it will develop the things all over the world.
Yes, I would like to highlight that having enough funds and having enough finance is one of the key tools to promote education, because you really need to have right amount of equipment and staff recruited in order to give out the education. So yes, that's a very imperative point that you highlighted. And I would also like to know that, according to your personal opinion, how do you think education can lead towards attainment of sustainable peace? How can it contribute towards attaining peace?
Education is not a kind of book stuff. Education has a broad field.
Exactly.
So you can include education in any manner, in the manner of training, yoga, and teach art and craft. Artwork is also and contribute the peace building. So the education in every manner can make the people peaceful. Because the lackness of the education and the right direction, the people indulge in the violence. So education can only awake the people what is the reality and what we have to do for our next generation. So this is a main thing. Education is a main toolkit to make peaceful world. And I want to introduce one more thing, that we are doing the digitalized app using for the peaceful world.
Okay. So, and one more last question, that can you explain a little more about that app? That how are you planning to devise it, or is it already formed, or can you give us an example of that?
I am very excited to tell about this because my son already met with the President of General Assembly and show him this app. This will cover the communication gap between the person with disabilities
Oh, wow.
with the mainstream and the different languages also. We can use Google app, and we are doing work for that. Whatever we can tell, that is type in the text, and whatever the front people can type, it will change into the voice.
Oh, wow.
So it will a great initiating. We are working in India with the mainstream and the underprivileged society with the person with disability. So I talk with the SDG fund director about this, and we will work together.
Well, that's really amazing, I must say, and we are all excited to meet the creator of that app, your son, and would like to have more insight over his work that he's been doing. So, with that note, I would like to say that education is a broad term within itself, and it goes beyond the boundaries of your classroom. Education is required in everything in your life that you do. And most importantly, education is the key to success and development, and also to achieve long-lasting peace. Thank you so much, Mina, for joining us today. We were really privileged to have you today, and we would love to have you again in our program.
Thank you so much, Rabia and iCast News Channel, to give us a great chance to spread this message to all over the world and from the United Nations platform. It's a great chance, and it's a great honor for us.
You're welcome. So with that note, we'll take a leave. So this is iCast News, live and direct from United Nations, and we are the Better Half UN Women.